We are currently dealing with a workforce that in many cases works full time, but still can't afford housing. We're also dealing with a situation in which a huge percentage of school age children, even as old as the fourth grade, are having trouble reading. But have no fear, because the House Education and Workforce Committee is not focusing on that at all. Instead, they want to hold a hearing to continue investigating Harvard University president Claudine Gay and the allegations that she plagiarized her published work. Now, just as a reminder, Harvard is a private institution. It is not a public university that takes the public taxpayer money that public institutions do. And you should also keep in mind that an investigation has been conducted by a third party into the plagiarism allegations, and Harvard University stands behind her 100%. Nonetheless, let's talk about what Congress wants to do here. Now, in a letter this week on Wednesday, acquired by Bloomberg, Republican Congresswoman Virginia Foxx said that the committee, again, the Education and Workforce Committee in the House, will expand its look into Claudine Gay, focusing on whether Harvard holds its faculty to the same academic standards as its students. This is not what Congress is meant to do. This is, for lack of a better way to describe it, this isn't their jurisdiction, okay? This is all theater, all theater. That's all this is. The House Committee on Education and the Workforce is requesting that Harvard hand over all documentation and communications concerning the initial allegations of plagiarism, the school's responses to the media, as well as a list of disciplinary actions taken against Harvard faculty or students for academic integrity violations since 2019. As the Wall Street Journal reports, the representative here, Republican Representative Virginia Foxx, sent a letter to Penny Pritzker, who leads the school's governing board, with quotes from the school's honor code, which says that plagiarizing or misrepresenting the ideas or language of someone else as one's own, falsifying data, or any other instance of academic dishonesty violates the standards of our community. Now, it's fascinating that they're wasting time doing something that they are not supposed to do as a House committee. This is not, honestly, none of their business. And this is something that should be and has been investigated by Harvard, again, a private Ivy League school. And if this is the precedent that they want to set, are they going to start interrogating administrators at Brigham Young University to ensure that none of them engaged in any premarital sex? Because I do know that students at that university end up getting kicked out if there's any evidence that they engaged in premarital sex. So we got to make sure the administrators are being held to the exact same standard as the students, right? Even if it's a private institution, even if there's, an independent investigation to the allegations and it's proven to be untrue. This is insane.
Yeah, so there's four giant problems here. Number one, they're obviously doing character assassination of her. What happens is when someone says something that some lobbyists don't like or people in power don't like, they now attack their characters, because if you do that, it smears their cause as well as them. It's a far more effective way of trying to ruin someone. And when they do that, they dig and dig and dig until they get the juiciest stuff. And there's almost always something on somebody, right? Oh, you did this back in 97 and you left out a comma in 2017, et cetera. In this case, I've got to congratulate the president of Harvard, because she's apparently led the most immaculate life. What they found was 4 incomplete citations. Ooh, she must be a saint. So look, if you say, hey, no, Cenk, I read the Harvard Crimson and it actually has other things, et cetera. As Anna pointed out, that's for Harvard to adjudicate, and Harvard has already cleared her. So what we're having congressional hearings because we think the Harvard, whichever body at Harvard does that adjudication didn't do its job. Why are taxpayer money is going to this? Let them figure it out if there's an issue. That's not our job. It's theater.
Yeah, no, Cenk. This is the illusion of governance.
Bingo.
The illusion of governance. These are lawmakers who are useless, who have no interest in actually, we have a migrant crisis as we speak, a migrant crisis that they like to campaign on. a migrant crisis that they pretend to be so concerned about, yet they fail to even consider immigration reform. Instead, they're engaging in hearing after hearing that's meant to do nothing more than get their names in headlines and give the illusion of governance. And I have the facts to prove it, because every Congress, there's an analysis done to see just how productive members of Congress have been in that session. And boy, is the analysis absolutely devastating for the current Congress. So I want to get to those numbers before we circle back to Claudine Gay and the allegations of plagiarism, because to me, the big issue here, whether you believe the plagiarism allegations or not, put that aside for a second. You have to at least acknowledge that this is not the job of Congress, and they are using our resources to call on these hearings that really have no place for Congress, but more importantly, takes time and resources away from what they should be doing. They should be doing their jobs. There are so many problems in this country, and they like to, again, campaign on it, pretend like they're concerned about it, but they never do a damn thing about any of these issues. So amid insanely low approval ratings, Congress has again decided to waste time with politically charged investigations and hearings, and they're doing nothing for the American people. Axios published a recent piece titled "Capitol Hill Stunner: 2023 led to fewest laws in decades." So the data analytics firm known as Quorum, they do a review every year, and their review of the 2023 year looked at the 118th Congress, and they found that it is the most unproductive in modern history. And keep in mind that this year there was even a 3-week period in which the House of Representatives didn't do a damn thing because they were instead engaging in a pathetic power struggle for Speaker of the House. Now, take a look at this graphic, which was provided by Axios using the data from Quorum. They found that just 20 bills have been passed by both chambers and signed into law this year, with another 4 currently awaiting Biden's signature. And that's actually far below even historically unproductive first years. So the 104th, 112th, and 113th Congresses, in which Republicans controlled one or both chambers with Democrats, Bill Clinton and Barack Obama in the White House, passed between 70 and 73 laws. And 5 of the 6 most unproductive first years of a congressional session have been since 2011. So things have really eroded in recent years, which honestly helps to bolster the reasons why Americans think so poorly of our Congress. And by the way, you might be wondering, okay, well, what laws did they manage to pass? Well, the vast majority were uncontroversial bills that passed either by unanimous consent or with minimal opposition, including multiple measures to rename Veterans Affairs clinics and another to mint a coin commemorating the 250th anniversary of the Marine Corps.
Wow.
The other main class, I know, it's amazing. The other main class of legislation that Congress passed this year were must-pass bills raising the debt ceiling and keeping the government funded. But that's it. Just absolutely pathetic, absolutely pathetic.
Yeah, so I mentioned the first reason why this is ridiculous is just obviously a character assassination of this president of Harvard, plus it's a weapon of mass distraction, which leads me to point number 2. Where's the congressional hearings on the actual genocide? The one that's happening in Gaza, the one that killed 20,000 people in Gaza, 6,400 women, 8,000 children killed, massacred, actual genocide, not chants about a genocide, but one that's going on right now. No hearings, none, 0. Because God forbid you should do something productive and real when you could just distract the American people instead. Number 3, wait, I thought the Republicans were for free speech and they hated cancel culture. Now all of a sudden they're like, oh, people are chanting things we don't like. We should fire the president because she didn't condemn them enough, because I hate free speech. I hate it. When someone says something that I don't like, ban them, fire them, expel them. And what happened to cancel culture? I thought you guys hated cancel culture. Fire her, fire her. They're having congressional hearings to fire her. They're running a witch hunt here. And again, that's the other irony. Trump talking about witch hunts. This is what a witch hunt looks like. Where she hasn't done anything wrong, but she dared to not condemn a chant as much as you wanted her to. Meanwhile, the actual genocide's right there, right? And then the fourth point is the one that Anna just made. Are you guys ever gonna pass a real bill? What are we gonna call Veterans Affairs? Is this a joke? It is, it's a joke. And look, it's both sides. But yes, the Republicans are in charge of the House. And they're not even trying. And the Democrats aren't putting any pressure on them to try. Yeah, they make fun of them when they have their melee about the speaker vote, etc. But is there anyone on the Democratic side going, hey guys, are we gonna do immigration reform? Are we gonna do paid family leave? Are we gonna do higher minimum wage? Make an argument, compel them, force them, pressure them. No, nothing. So I'm already mad enough at the Democratic side for doing nothing and not really fighting back. But Republicans, so you never even intended to do anything. I mean, you say, Anna's 100% right. Oh, immigration, it's a crisis, it's terrible, we're being replaced, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so where's your bill? They're not even proposing a bill. Forget compromising with the Democrats on a bill. They haven't even proposed one. They don't care. You know, there's one thing they proposed. That was to cut the IRS agents that were auditing the rich. You remember that? Right in the beginning, that was the first thing they did, and it turns out the only thing they did. Because their job is to protect the rich and distract you with everything else. So as we think, what a mess, ineffective bunch of losers, they're thinking, no, you're not getting it. Mission accomplished. We protected the rich and did nothing else.
And look, I want to be fair and accurate and just say that under the new House Speaker, Mike Johnson, who is in the far right wing of the Republican Party, they did propose, I should say, a bill in the House regarding immigration. But it was a bill that was more meant to virtue signal to their constituents about how extreme they can be on the topic of immigration, knowing full well that it would be dead on arrival in the Senate. So it's not really about passing real immigration reform that has a chance. It's not about negotiating with the other side of the aisle and with the more moderate Republicans to come up with the right solutions. It's really just about theater. Even with the legislation they propose, it ends up being all about virtue signaling, all about theater, and less about actually finding solutions to the issues that the country is facing as we speak.
Yeah, so Anna, thank you for that correction. And I'm really glad you said that. So they did introduce one. Guys, if you actually wanted to stop things at the border, you really cared about it. Here's what I would do. After introducing a bill, whether it was for theater or not, I would then go to the Democrats and go, okay, we need this to pass because I'm really worried. They're crossing the border every day and more of them are crossing. I'm so worried about it. So what do we need to do to pass this bill so we can stop them from crossing the border? Okay, Democrats, let's negotiate. No, I'm not gonna give you that. I might give you that. I mean, I'd be animated, right? If I was in Congress right now, I'd be pushing for paid family leave. But I'd actually want it to pass. So I'd say to the Republicans, look, 74% of your voters want it. So what do you need? So how do we make this deal happen? Do you see any of that energy?
Nope.
Nothing. Because they're not actually trying to pass anything. It's, as Anna has said now many times, and she's absolutely right. It's nothing but theater just to distract you and make sure you don't realize that they aren't actually trying to help you at all.
Thanks for watching. If you become a member, you get to watch all this ad-free, except for, of course, this ad. Still, hit the join button below.